Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Thursday afternoon today from Kindred. It is Region 1 baseball as the Central Cass Squirrels go up against the Kindred Vikings in a de facto Region 1 baseball championship today here on yourliveevent.com. I'm Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes, and welcome to our pregame show. A gorgeous day for baseball currently in Kindred as it stands right now in the lower 60s. A wind going to be blowing in from right field a little bit, so if you're going to hit one to right, need a little bit more of a good swing into it as this one progresses throughout the afternoon and into the evening. What's at stake is the number 1 seed here in the Region 1 baseball tournament that officially begins tomorrow as Enderlin makes their way to Lisbon for the play-in contest. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Kindred can fall no worse than a 2 seed with the loss, while the Central Cass Squirrels with a loss, they would drop to number 3 in the Region 1 baseball tournament. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go over the standings, we'll go over the tiebreakers, we'll hear from both head coaches, Scott Milbrandt and alongside Dustin Maggio, all ahead of our starting lineups and the opening pitch, also on senior night here today for the Kindred Vikings. We're back with more after this in Kindred.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Give them the freedom to grow with the peace of mind of security and safety.
Let me do my thing. So get ready, get up, get ready, yeah.
America's Best Checking for students from Bell Bank makes it easy to let them do their thing.
It's what it's all about.
Visit www.bell.bank/student-checking to learn more. Or stop into a branch near you to open an account today.
Let me do my thing.
Bell Bank, member FDIC.
As honoring the seniors here today for the Kindred Vikings, 3 of them on the field, 1 of them in terms of a student manager. Head coach is Scott Milbrandt, 7-0 in the region, going up against Dustin Maggio and the Central Cass Squirrels at a 6-1 in region play. These 2 teams played earlier in the month of March, where both Dustin and Scott kind of were joking that never coached a game in the month of March, but this year they moved that up. It was a non-counter game, and the Central Cass Squirrels eventually came out on top. For the Central Cass Squirrels, if they win again, they'll be the number 1 seed. If they lose, they'll drop down to number 3 as Northern Cass holds the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Central Cass Squirrels. So Northern Cass can either be the 2 or the 3 pending the result today. The Kindred Vikings can finish no worse than number 2. If they lose, they'll be the 2. Central Cass then again would be the 1. If the Vikings win, they're the 1. Central Cass drops down to the number 3 seed. 4 seed is a lock with Sargent County. They will host the number 5 seed of Oak Grove, the Grovers. Then from there, it's the Ball Stars of Hankinson, Fairmount, Campbell, Tinta, Rossolt, and Lidgerwood as the number 6 seed entering the Region 1 tournament. Oaks, the number 7 seed, and the 8-9 matchup again, which we'll have for you on yourliveevent.com. Tomorrow, 24 hours from now, with Brent Dick, will be Lisbon and Enderlin. Enderlin, the 9 seed, going to the 8 seed of the Lisbon Broncos. Winner of that will either play again Kindred or Central Cass on Tuesday. Tuesday, 1 through 4 will host, and then from there, next Thursday and Friday, everything goes down to Oaks for the Region 1 baseball tournament, and then the championship series the following Monday and Tuesday after that Tuesday, if needed, for the second championship game. Again, it's the Kindred Vikings and the Central Cass Squirrels. When we come back, we'll hear from the coaches of both Scott Milbrandt and alongside Dustin Maggio, as well as they are honoring the seniors who are making their way out onto the field here today in Kindred. Again, gorgeous day for baseball. We're back with more around the corner here on our pregame show.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
When we bought our first home in Fargo, we had no idea where to start. A friend told us to call First Class Mortgage, and I'm so glad we did. They explained every step, answered all of our questions, and made us feel completely at ease. We closed on time and even got a better rate than expected. If you're buying or refinancing, trust me, call First Class Mortgage. They really do live up to their name.
First Class Mortgage is locally owned. Visit firstclasscorp.com for more info. As we continue on our pregame show here today from Kindred, it is the de facto Region 1 regular season championship with the Central Cass Squirrels going up against the Kindred Vikings. Join us from Central Cass's perspective as their head coach. That, again, is Dustin Maggio. And, Dustin, for you to play in a game like this in the regular season that has this kind of implication, win or lose, you know you're going to be playing on Tuesday no matter what in the opening round of the region tournament. But what does a game like this do for a team as you get ready for that tournament coming up next week?
Well, I consider this almost the first round of the tournament right here because, I mean, we win, we're the 1. We lose, we fall to the 3, and it's a big difference right there in our region. And I just feel like this, we're going to treat it almost as a first. You know, we're in the region tournament here. Yeah.
As you go through this Kindred lineup, what can you take from that first game back in March when you played? That probably feels like, you know, like years ago to where it is now, or what do you remember about that game back in early March here, Dustin, for you?
You know, I remember Carver and both he and Bryce keeping them off balance and not giving up a whole lot of hits and stuff like that. So just we're hoping that from that same thing today, you know, they got guys that'll put the ball in play, and we just hope that we can keep them off balance enough that, you know, we come out on top.
You go with Lucas Christensen here on the bump. What does he just have to do against this Kindred lineup in your perspective?
I feel like not give them free bases. I think if he throws the ball over the plate, we're going to be okay. Our defense, you know, will pick him up, and just don't walk people, don't hit people. You know, if there's a guy on, throw it over the plate. Don't let wild pitches or anything like that. Just throw strikes.
How fun is it to have a game like this? Sunny skies, you got to battle a little wind, but don't have to battle rain, don't have to battle snow or anything of that nature. Doesn't what's it feel like to finally have a nice day to kind of get a good game in?
You know, the sun's out, and the little bit of breeze that we do have is, you know, it's not a cold breeze, so it's fun to just be out and nice. And, you know, we played on Monday, and it was chilly, and it's just like it always seems to be 25-mile-an-hour winds, even if it's sunny. But today, hey, it's going to be a nice day.
Final thing for you, Dustin, from an offensive perspective, guys at the plate, what do you want to see from good quality at-bats here this evening?
You know, be aggressive. I want them to go after, you know, if they see a fastball right away, go after it. If they don't see a fastball right away, you know, kind of wait on your pitch until you get 2 strikes. And then you got to try to, you know, adjust a little bit. But I want to be aggressive.
Hey, Dustin, it's always good to see you. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you very much, Chase.
That again, Coach Dustin Maggio for Central Cass. We're back with more after this from Kindred.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
As we continue on our pregame show here today from Kindred, it is Region 1, pretty much a de facto Region 1 regular season baseball championship with the Kindred Vikings and the Central Cass Squirrels. Joining us here from Kindred is Scott Milbrandt, their head coach. Scott, let's just start there. Obviously, you want to have big games throughout the course of the regular season to test your team, win or lose before you get to that postseason. So what does it mean on your home field to have a chance to win a regular season region championship here tonight?
It means a lot. Central Cass is going to come ready to play, and we're prepared. It's going to be a battle today. It's going to be a lot of fun. If neither team kicks it around, I'm looking for a really, really close game.
You look at the first game, which probably feels like a light year ago in terms of you played in March, for crying out loud, with Central Cass. It was a non-region game, only playing each other once for a region counter. So can you take much from that, or was that like, hey, that was game 1, game 2 of the season, and everyone was trying to build their arms and just get back to what baseball's all about?
Yeah, I think it was, that was a building point for both teams. I do remember we walked a ton of guys, so did they. I hope that doesn't happen today for either team. I always like to see, hey, I can live with if somebody hits the ball and they win the game, they earned it, instead of getting a bunch of walks. And, so I think that was just an early bird look. I think it's going to be better baseball today.
You look at it also Senior Day for your respective club, honoring the seniors here, Scott. So just in general, what is this a senior group meant to you in this baseball program?
They're a great group of 3 kids, good character kids, and they lead by example, right? They're very positive and bring a lot. We're going to miss them next year, but we sure enjoy having them leading our team.
Let's talk about the guy on the mound here, Fisher Johnson. What's the lineup that Central Cass has that he has to try to navigate through? Not just the walks, as you mentioned, from back in March, but just what does he have to do well against this lineup?
I think he has to pound the zone early, and keep them off balance, because they have a good hitting team. And when they do put the ball in play, we have to play good defense behind them.
Final thing for you, how nice of a day is it to have 60 degrees, sunny skies, don't have to worry about rain, wind, or snow, so to speak, at this time of the year, Scott?
Yeah, well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because you never know. We could get it. Yesterday we had snowflakes in the air, but it is a beautiful day. I'm glad we made the call to move it from Tuesday to today, because I think we're going to have a good day for baseball.
Hey, Scott, as always, thanks so much for your time. Good to see you, and best of luck here tonight.
Thanks, Chase. I appreciate it.
And again, Scott Milbrandt, head coach of the Kindred Vikings, back with more after this here in Kindred. Thanks, buddy. Main Street Mutual Insurance Company is a partnership that unites 2 trusted community-focused organizations in Cass County Mutual Insurance Company and Steel Trail County Mutual Insurance Company under the same roof. This merger strengthens the ability to service our policyholders with expanded resources, enhanced ability, and a continued commitment to protecting what matters most. Our offices in Castleton and Findlay will remain open to serve the needs of our agents and policyholders. For more information, go to mainstreetmutualins.com.
And everything they said is what they did. When they built the plan, wildlife wanted this, wanted that. They bent over backwards to satisfy everybody.
This kind of gave us a shot in the arm. Now we're going to build a new community center. We're allowed to give funding to a lot of our school programs.
Our kids have had all of this as their backyard, so it's a great way of life.
As we get ready for the starting lineups here today in Kindred, the Central Cass Squirrels, the visitors on the scoreboard in their white and red uniforms, the red numerals with the red trim down the side here on the jerseys. Jack Everson, the senior shortstop, with Brody Cagley, the junior second baseman. Ryan Osmondstad, the junior center fielder. From there, Keegan Peterson, the senior third baseman, batting cleanup, with Carver Kozowski going to be out in left for the sophomore. Grayson Lewis behind the plate for the senior. And Bryce Mueller, the junior first baseman, with with Grady Mueller, the junior designated hitter. Lucas Christensen will be on the mound, and then you have Cole Boer in right field here for the sophomore. Again, for the Central Cass Squirrels, Everson, Kangley, Ryan Osmondstad, Peterson, Kozowski, Lewis, Bryson, Grady Mueller, Christensen, and Boer. Dustin Maggio, the head coach for the Central Cass Squirrels. Now for the Kindred Vikings, as they'll go like this with their head coach and Scott Milbrandt. Brady Baumgarten, the junior center fielder, with Jackson Schleeman, the sophomore second baseman. Fisher Johnson will be on the bump, the junior pitcher, with Carson Getty, the senior left fielder. From there, you got Eli Mack, the sophomore designated hitter, batting fifth. Gabe Iverson, the senior shortstop, batting sixth, with Graham Hess, the junior catcher, batting seventh. Jeremy Knight, the sophomore right fielder, batting eighth, with Carter Grunwald, the sophomore third baseman, batting ninth, and Max Bernier will be at first base here today for the for the Kindred Vikings. Again, Baumgartner, Schleeman, Johnson, Getty, Mack, Iverson, Hess, Knight, Grunwald, and Bernier at first base here for Kindred. They're seniors of Gabe Iverson alongside with Max Bernier, and with them Carson Getty for the players here today for the Kindred Vikings. Again, sunny skies, not too much in terms of wind to talk about until it kind of gusts up to 15, 20 miles an hour from right field blowing in. But in terms of some of the days that we've had recently, not 30 or 40 mile an hour winds to speak of. So all things considered, a pretty nice day at the ballpark. That again is our starting lineup. So when we come back, it's the opening pitch. It is Central Cass and Kindred. Winner is the number 1 seed going in the Region 1 baseball tournament. The play-in game starts up tomorrow in Lisbon, but this is the final regular season game of the season here for both these two teams before the playoffs for them start up here coming up on Tuesday. Back with more after this here in Kindred.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the number 1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com.
Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
As we get you ready, Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes with you here up in the booth today on yourliveevent.com. Your home for both the Region 1 and Region 2 baseball tournaments, and alongside the Region 1 and Region 2 softball tournaments. And if you're a fan of track and field next week, the Northeast Track and Field invite coming up here in Mayville on Friday. And then next Saturday here in Kindred, the Southeast Track and Field meet as well. So next week going to be really spring tournaments are in full swing, from baseball, softball to track and field. Still got a week or so after that before golf kind of gets to their super regional, then eventually the state tournament here coming up. Again, the Central Cass Squirrels, the visitors on the scoreboard, the Kindred Vikings, the hometown team, both teams wearing white. The Vikings all white with the pinstripes on the jersey, with the Kindred across the front and blue with the blue numerals. numerals. Central Cass with white uniforms. Central Cass in red across the front with the red numerals here today for the Central Cass Squirrels. 2 cameras set up, both from the outfield cam here and alongside up the first base line as we have it up in the booth. As we're back to business here today, our umpiring crew, Chris Larson, going to be in the infield with Cale Hamrick calling balls and strikes here in Kindred. Vikings going to be the 1 seed if they win, the 2 if they lose. Central Cass the 1 if they win, the 3 if they lose. And Northern Cass is waiting to see if they're the 2 or the 3. If the Jags are the 2 seed, that means Kindred wins. If the Jags are the 3 seed, that means Central Cass takes care of business here today. Opening pitch going to be right on cue at 5 o'clock. Top of the hour. First pitch swinging jammed him as Everson will see this one go foul. And we're back to normal business here with Everson, Kegley, and Ryan Osmondstad here, the top third of the lineup for the Central Cass Squirrels. As we get a right-handed toss by Johnson, hit on the ground as this one makes its way to the third baseman with Grunwald. Does a good job to Max Bernier, 5-3 on the putout and 2 down. 2 pitches, 1 down here for Jack Everson on the Bank North scoreboard. As we go now to Brody Kegley, the junior second baseman here for Central Cass. Kegley can do a little bit of everything for Coach Maggio in this Squirrel lineup, but also defensively throughout the course of his tenure as well for the junior second baseman. No matter a win or a loss, both these teams will host a playoff game coming up, a postseason contest here on Tuesday at 5 p.m. in Kindred and at 5 p.m. in Castleton. Just a matter of who their opponent then would be moving forward. Here's the 0-1 offering. 0-1's going to be hit on the ground. That will go to the second baseman. Chance there and a good play by Schliemann to Bernier. So a ground out to the third baseman, a ground out to the second baseman, and there's 2 down here in the top of the first inning. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Ryan Osmondstad will do up next here for the junior center fielder as Enderlin makes their way to Lisbon again tomorrow night at 5 p.m. right here on YourLiveEvent.com in the Region 1 play-in contest as Osmondstad will work ahead in the count 1-0. And then from there, the winner will either play Kindred or Central Cass on Tuesday. 1-0 pitch, off speed, going to be called a strike here for Fisher. It's now 1-1. If Central Cass ends up being the 3 seed, they'll play the Ball Stars of Hankinson, Campbell, Fairmount, Dinta, Rossholt, and Lingerwood for back-to-back years in that opening round matchup if they end up being the 3 seed. And well, for Kindred, if they end up being the 2 seed, they'll go up against Oaks here upcoming in Kindred on Tuesday. 3 balls and a strike to Ryan Osmondstad. Pitch number 5 here for Fisher Johnson as the 3-1 pitch is up, and this will be foul and will work the count full. So Everson, Kegley, and Ryan Osmondstad again here for Central Cass as they're trying to get something brewing with 2 down. Well, for Fisher Johnson, looking for a tidy top of the first inning here on the Bank North scoreboard. Fisher from the windup and the pitch. That'll work inside for a ball. That'll be our first base runner of the contest as you get to Keegan Peterson. As Peterson batting for the cleanup spot for the senior third baseman. Getty in left with Baumgartner in center. You got Knight in right here. Grunwald, as we alluded to, at third base with Iverson at shortstop, Schliemann at second, Bernier at first with Hess behind the plate. We'll see how much attention they pay to the runner. They'll go right at it here to the batter with Keegan Peterson. And for back-to-back batters, Fisher falls behind the count. Got Jack Everson on 2 pitches after a foul ball on the first pitch. Kegley on 2 pitches after delivering a strike on the first of the count. This one works out of the zone. First time working from the stretch. It's now 2-0 and a good hitter's count here for Keegan. The Central Cass Squirrels coming off a win against the Mayport CG Patriots on Monday, 13-12. Off-speed pitch going to be called a strike, now 2-1. Well, for the Kindred Vikings, they went down to Sargent County and defeated the Bulldogs 13-2 on Monday. And a team offensively that has got double digits their last 3 games here. As there's a swing and a miss. Can't even call it 4, but just in terms of Region 1 competition, the last 3 games they've been able to play 15, 19, and 13 runs against Oaks, Enderlin, and Sargent County, respectively. This one is foul back as the wind is starting to gust just a little bit more from our center field camera with Old Glory kind of blowing right in from right field. So we'll do it all over again. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Peterson. Runner at first base is Ryan Osmondstad. Has got a little bit of a cyclone making its way through the infield. 2-2 is going to be hit right up the middle. Iverson will play the one hop, easily take his way, and Peterson is retired on the fielder's choice. There were no runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left on. We played to the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless, Central Cass 0, Kindred coming to the plate.
The Ringneck is a perfect stop for lunch or dinner in Leonard, North Dakota. The Ringneck has a wide variety menu from burgers, wraps, steak, chicken, and seafood. For that small-town family-owned dining experience, check out the Ringneck today. To place an order ahead of time for takeout, call 701-645-2465. That's 645-2465. And stop by every other Friday this winter for meat raffles. For more info and daily specials, search the Ringneck on Facebook.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
High school baseball today as we're broadcasting from the First Class Mortgage broadcast booth. Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes with you today in Kindred. Locally owned and operated First Class Mortgage. More than their company name, it's the way they do business. Whether buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, go online to firstclasscorp.com. That again is firstclasscorp.com. For the Kindred Vikings, Brady Baumgarten, the junior center fielder, batting leadoff with Jackson Schliemann, the sophomore second baseman, batting second. Fisher Johnson, the junior pitcher on the mound, and he will be again batting third. Carson Getty in that cleanup spot for the senior left fielder. Eli Mack, the sophomore DH, batting fifth, with Gabe Iverson, the senior shortstop, batting sixth. Graham Hess, the junior catcher, will be batting seventh, with Jeremy Knight, the right field sophomore, batting eighth. Carter Grunwald, the sophomore third baseman, ninth, and Max Bernier at first base here today for this contest. Again, that's for the Kindred Vikings. Lucas Christensen on the mound, and he delivers a strike. Brady Baumgarten swinging a miss. It's 0-1. Lewis behind the plate for the battering ram here between these two for the battery. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Christensen will bounce that one. It's now 1-1. Kozowski in left field with Osmondstein, and straightaway center him. Boer out in right here for the left to right outfield today for the Squirrels. High fastball, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Peterson over at third base with Everson at short, Cagley at second, and Bryce Mueller at first here for head coach Justin Maggio. Off-speed pitch, good take there by Brady after a couple fastballs that run up, trying to change both the eye level and the speed there for Lucas Christensen. Fifth pitch of the at-bat here to Baumgarten. 2-2 jammed him up the third base side. That'll go foul. It's a foul ball, and we'll do it all over again here at 2-2. So the Region 1 baseball tournament already gets underway here tomorrow. Region 2 baseball, that doesn't get underway until a week from Saturday at Mayville State for the first three games. You have the 6-7 play-in with the winner to play the 3 seed and the 4-5 matchup before it gets to the double elimination up at Mayville. So realistically, if you're a 1 or a 2 seed in that region, you get one less round to have to worry about. As those two teams right now that are vying for the 1 and 2, Hillsborough Central Valley and the Thompson Tommies, as it currently stands in the Region 2 baseball standings. Here's the payoff pitch by Christensen. That'll be a 6-pitch walk as Baumgartner will take first base, and the Kindred Vikings get a leadoff batter aboard here in the bottom of the first inning, as now it goes to Jackson Schliemann. And for head coach Scott Milbrandt, here's what you want. Get a runner on early, see if you can maybe play small ball. Do you allow your guys to swing away? Regardless, you got options here in the bottom of the first with the lefty here, Schliemann, the sophomore, against Christensen. Works from the stretch, runner stays put. This is going to be called a strike. It's 0-1. Talking with both head coaches before the game, both had smiles on, saying, how does a game like this fare for you throughout the course of the spring? As the pick play going to be not in time. Both just said, you know, you enjoy it when you can. You understand spring, you get 30-degree temperatures to 60-degree, maybe 70 if you're fortunate. But both are smiling and happy to play on a day like today, as this was supposed to be on Tuesday, but with the weather and just the wind and the coldness, they moved it back a couple of days. And with neither team having to play in a play-in game tomorrow, the right call a little bit as you get ready from Tuesday and just what the weather was 48 hours ago to where we have it tonight. The 0-2 offering got him out in front on an off-speed pitch, as this will continue to be 0-2. As Bryce Mueller holding on Brady Baumgarten here at first base. As he takes his lead, this will be pitch number 11 here on the way for Christensen, as he will make a snap back to first. Baumgarten able to make it back safely. Well, for Fisher Johnson, he needed just 16 pitches to get through the top of the first inning. Christensen, we'll see this. Good take here for Schliemann. You saw him kind of load the barrel up, and then as he came maybe about 10-15% stop, seeing that fastball just continue to rise out of the zone. 1-2 pitches hit high in the air to left field. Kozowski is going to make his way into foul territory with the wind blowing again right to left. That maybe tailed off a little bit and helped Schliemann out. If there's no wind, that might be a fair ball opportunity for Kozowski to make, but Garver gave it a good chase, just couldn't get there quick enough. And for the Kindred Vikings, you work with an extra strike here at 1-2. Fisher, Johnson, Getty, and Mack again coming up here for the Kindred Vikings. Taking his lead off at first. Baumgarten, he'll stay put. The 1-2 pitch is hit high in the air. That goes to straightaway center field. That's going to get over to the center fielder, Osmondstad. It'll hop all the way to the wall, and we'll see how far Brady can go. Here's the relay to Everson. Everson's throw home, not going to be in time, or is it? Oh, nearly got him out on the tag. That was close on the apply. Everson threw a rope right to Lewis, who applied the tag, but the arm for Brady beat the tag by Mr. Grayson Lewis on the foot. That's about as close as you can get. Runner at second base, and the Kindred Vikings strike first, 1-0. What a throw by Ryan Osmondstad to Everson, to home to Lewis. And the dugout for Central Cass was about ready to come unglued if that was called an out, but instead Baumgartner with the slide of the able to come in for the first run of the contest and make it now 1-0. Not a feet first slide, but a head first slide. But regardless, that little extra real estate came to score. The Kindred Vikings take the first run of the Bank North scoreboard. And that one missing low. It's now 2-0. So after Kozowski gave chase, but just couldn't get to that ball in left field, what happens? A pitch later, boom, a good swing there by Schliemann in the left center for a RBI double. 2-0 pitch. There's a good swing by Johnson, but missed. Now it's 2-1. As we alluded to, this Viking team has been scoring in bunches, 15, 19, and 13 runs in the last 3 games, respectively. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Now it's going to be 2-2. Central Cass Kindred. Winner wins the regular season of the Region 1 Baseball Championship. And then we'll have the Region 1 Baseball Tournament for you here on yourliveevent.com. Tomorrow at the Plain, we'll have one game coming up on Tuesday, then everything in Oaks. And from remainder for the rest of the tournament Thursday and Friday next week as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes here for Fisher Johnson as we'll get a quick meeting on the mound. This meeting on the mound brought to you in part by Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. From banking to insurance, get in touch with Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency today. Update for you for softball. Kindred 5, Hillsborough Central Valley 2. Top of the third inning. Josh Boyko on the call for you on that one up in Hillsborough as the Vikings have a 3-run lead in the third. This one foul to the Evergreens, and we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the one thing this is doing, the pitch count is going up as we're going to be making our way to pitch number 19 of the inning as Fisher Johnson works with a 2-ball, 2-strike count against Christensen. Here's the pitch. Christensen gets the strikeout. 1 down here. Johnson is retired, and now it goes to Carson Getty. Getty, one of 3 seniors. Here for head coach Scott Milbrett, the senior left fielder. Trying to see if he can at least move Schliemann up to third, but he wants to see if he can put one in the grass somewhere and allow maybe a run to come in as well. This one will miss outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Fourth batter here for the Kindred Vikings in the lineup for head coach Scott Milbrandt. Started with the leadoff walk, and the old adage is in baseball, walks will haunt, and that is true in this, as this goes foul towards the playground area behind the evergreens. It's now 1-1. Let's taking a look at the runner back here is Christensen. 1-1, staying pat. It's now 2-1. Region 1 baseball today here on your liveevent.com from Kindred. Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes. Thank you so much for tuning into our broadcast here on this Thursday afternoon. 2-1 pitch. No miss. Is now 3-1. Similar to what we had Friday night for softball where Central Cass and Kindred played last week. A very similar day in terms of just a little bit of a win, but overall one of those where you want to be outside getting maybe your garden worked on a little bit, some of the flowers, enjoying a burger or a brat on the grill, as there's a two-hopper that goes to the second baseman. Kegley makes the play, and Carson Getty does move the runner up 90 feet here with Schliemann to third base. And there's two down here in the bottom of the first with Eli Mack. Mack, the sophomore DH, batting fifth here, trying to see if he can get a two-out base hit and bring Schliemann in. Well, for Lucas Christensen, trying to get out of the inning with just one run against and get the at-bats up here for Central Cass, where 5, 6, and 7 batters of Carver, Kozowski, Lewis, and Bryce Mueller are on deck here in the top of the second inning. This one goes foul right over us in the press box, and it's 1-1. Runner at third is Schliemann. 1 ball and 1 strike here as Lucas Christensen from the stretch. Pitch number 27 of the inning. We'll see this get by the catcher Lewis, making its way home, and this one going to be a run coming in. So second run coming in here is this one. One hopped it and eventually got by the glove of Lewis. It's now 2-1 on the wild pitch. And a second run does come in to score here for the Kindred Vikings. So again, move runners up 90 feet, put themselves in a better opportunity to score. And once you get to third, you just have more opportunities to come on in and score a run. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That was a good strike. It's now 2-2. Iverson due up next if Mack can get aboard. Nice looking crowd both up the first base and third base lines here today. And Kindred, you win this game, you might be able to host another postseason game coming up here in a week and a half if you can get through the Region 1 tournament. Once you get to the final 3 teams remaining, that's been the last couple of years, the highest seed remaining would host. So, for example, if you're the 1 seed and you're still alive, you're going to host at your own field. Here's the payoff pitch. Foul back, and one thing Kindred has done, they've made Lucas Christensen work. Baumgarten worked the count full, eventually got a double. Schliemann with a handful of pitches before he got a double, with Brady earning that walk, that is. Fisher Johnson worked it to a 2-2 count, fouled some off before he struck out. 3-2 again, foul back. Carson Getty worked it to a 3-ball count, and here's Mack now with a 3-2 offering yet again. So 32nd pitch of the inning here for Lucas Christensen. 3-2 pitch, got him looking for the strikeout, and Christensen gets his second strikeout of the afternoon. But 2 runs do come across on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. New score on the Bank North scoreboard as we head to the top of the second inning. It's Kindred 2, Central Cass scoreless.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Get ahead of your spring planting needs with flowers, shrubs, and trees. Watts Ace Hardware Greenhouse is open now. Watts Ace Hardware, a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware and check out their greenhouse, which is open right now.
On the Bank North scoreboard, the Kindred Vikings, after an RBI double by Schliemann, then coming in to score was Brady Baumgarten, and then Schliemann would eventually come in after a wild pitch to make it 2-0 here for Kindred. At Bank North, they've been a trusted financial partner for generations, helping customers and communities build, grow, and prosper. To see what values-based banking can do for you, visit banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So for the Central Cass Squirrels here in the top of the second, Carver Kozowski, Grayson Lewis, and Bryce Mueller. Fisher Johnson sees this one, and that was a foul ball that nearly came into the press box. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike. One went right over the press box in the bottom of the first. This one, before it hit into the press box, which means sooner or later, law of averages will say one will come into the press box later tonight. 2-1 here to the sophomore left fielder Johnson. Rocks and delivers. This will miss for a ball. It's now 3-1. Be the second 3-ball count for Fisher Johnson on the mound here this evening against the Central Cass lineup. Here's the 3-1 offering. Got him at 3-2. Big breaking ball there for Fisher Johnson. How will they go here? Back to the heater or go to the off speed? Goes back to the off speed. This one's going to be hit down the left field line. A chance to see if it's in there, but it's a foul ball. Carver Kozowski just missed a double opportunity by about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet down that left field line. But he went back to the off speed pitch. Carver a little out in front of it, but able to time it up. And we'll see where Fisher wants to go this time. For more on high school sports, simply go to our website, yourliveevent.com, for the upcoming couple of weeks. 3-2 pitch brought the heater. Fisher Johnson with a strikeout, and Kozowski is retired, and there's one down here in the top of the second inning. Good spot as well for Fisher, low and away, able to see that one. And if you're Carver, you're just hoping to stay alive, as was close to maybe being called a strike or not, so trying to protect the plate. As it goes to Grayson Lewis, the senior catcher, and Lewis will hit one right back up the middle, and this will be a C&I single for Lewis. So Lewis gets aboard. First base knock against Fisher Johnson. And the Central Cass Squirrels, for a second consecutive inning, will have a runner aboard here now, this time with one down in the top of the second inning. As Lewis will get a courtesy runner here for Central Cass with the catcher. As coming on to run here for Central Cass will be Carter Nelson, the junior. So Nelson will make his way to first base, and that will be Bryce Mueller for the junior first baseman. Johnson will see this one, as it's going to be a foul tip, and that will go off of Hess. And Hess will just kind of try to work this one out a little bit here for the Kindred Vikings. As Fisher Johnson will talk it over. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency, quick little timeout and meeting on the mound. This one both for the umpires of both Chris Larson and Cale Hamry. At Kindred State Bank, from insurance to banking, they can handle your requests. For more information, go online to kindredstatebank.com. That, again, is kindredstatebank.com. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll continue with more of this here in Kindred.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
As we get back to the top of the second inning, Cale Hamry just making sure that Mr. Hess is doing okay. And Graham gives him the thumbs up, so we're back to normalcy here with the runner at first base again is Nelson. No balls and a strike to Bryce Mueller. Mueller will see this one work outside for a ball. It's 1-1. 9 teams in Region 1 this season, with the addition of having Sargent County into the region. The 1-1 pitch. That'll be called a strike. It's 1-2. In recent years, they would play each other twice. And it'll be both games that count towards your region standings. This year, you just played a single round robin to get to your region seed lines. The 1-2 hit on the ground. This one goes to Iverson. Iverson with the quick turn. They get one, a chance for two in time for the inning-ending double play. Iverson to Schliemann to Bernier. Shortstop to the second baseman to first, and that's how we'll end the top of the second inning. Good turn up the middle, and the Kindred Vikings will make their way to the plates, up by 2 here on the Bank North scoreboard.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com.
Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us, and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Top of the second inning, Central Cass with a one-out single by Grayson Lewis, but eventually the twin killing after a ground ball by Bryce Mueller. Iverson, Schliemann to Bernier, so no runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left. And for Fisher Johnson, 2 innings of work, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout through 7 batters so far. While on the opposite side for Lucas Christensen, he's on for his second inning of work, and he's thrown 32 pitches. Iverson, Hess, and Knight do up here for Kindred. First pitch swinging is Iverson. It's now 0-1 for the senior shortstop. As we'll see the 0-1 pitch on the way from Christensen. In the air, this one will be a fly ball to Gazowski and left. He'll camp underneath it for the outs. As there's 1 down on 2 pitches, now it goes to Graham Hess. Question can become for the Kindred Vikings. We saw this against Northern Cass and Jacob Ossie earlier in the month of April. Got on Northern Cass up early and continued to play with that lead, and sometimes just scoring, even if it's 1 run in the first inning, playing with the lead can be all the difference in high school baseball where you're playing 7. As there's a swing and a miss, it's 0-1. Obviously, if you can put a couple of crooked numbers up in the first, second, and third, and your pitcher is on point, that can also just be a difference maker when you get to a particular contest. 1 ball, 1 strike on the way. As we'll see it here to the junior catcher with Graham Hess. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Lucas Christensen. That'll miss low for a ball, now 2-1. And for these athletes, not too far from when you're talking about Legion and Babe Ruth season here, which will be a month away, not even in terms of that first game. This is hit right back to the pitcher. Oh, what a glove by Christensen. Nice play here from Christensen to make the catch as it went right back up on a line, and Christensen able to pick it out of midair for a line drive out. Mark that one for maybe our play of the contest. Defensively, obviously the 6-4-3 to end the second was nice, but Christensen flashing the leather here. If you're all baseball tonight fan, you call that a web gem. As we see the 1-0 offering here for Jeremy Knight. Knight, the sophomore right fielder, will miss outside for a ball. It's now 2-0. Got a hit on Iverson. Graham Hess hit one right back to the pitcher where it came from. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Good spot for a strike. It's now 2-1. Carter Gronwald due up next here for the Kindred Vikings. As the righty-lefty matchup here, the 2-1. Swing and a miss. It's now 2-2. Nice crowd that's filing on in as well behind the backstop, as we've seen it both up the first and third base lines here. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Christensen gets the strikeout. That'll be his third of the contest, and that'll do it for the Kindred Vikings. A 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the second. Through 2 on the Bank North scoreboard, it's Kindred up by 2.
Helps my bottom line. It gives back money to the community.
Of course, there's always concern with the roads, and of course, the jobs that's created because of it. We can always use extra jobs, and of course, the tax revenue and the income, and for the schools.
They're very good economic for the community. I mean, they keep everybody going. There's more money to come in.
There's going to be income coming to this fire department that they can count on, and we don't have to keep on upping the property tax.
This will help people here keep farming. How can you go wrong?
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
Top of the third inning we go. Good defensive plays by both teams in the second. As for the Central Cass Squirrels, they're 8-9-1 batters with Grady Mueller, Lucas Christensen, then back to the top of the lineup here with Jack Everson for the Central Cass Squirrels. A game that's a half hour old so far, starting right at the top of the hour here at 5 o'clock. This will be called the strike at the knee. Good spot by Fisher Johnson against Mueller, as now 0-1. Mueller, we'll see this one miss low. One thing that Johnson's done both in the first and the second inning, getting that leadoff batter out in some capacity. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Central Cass with a runner on with a walk in the first and got a one-out single in the second with Lewis. 1-2 hit right back up the middle, and this one will actually hit second base and take a high up into center. So Squirrels do get the leadoff runner aboard. That'll be their second single, and we'll make our way through the next to Lucas Christensen here for Central Cass. See, my broadcast partner here that runs the camera, Joey Hughes, would say that's an announcer's jinx right there, saying no one got aboard. Listening to Corey Provis over the years, talking to him, he just says, you're just doing your job as an announcer. Runner will stay put, looking to bunt. He did off right as it fouled back here by Christensen. It's 0-1. Also, once you start bunting, you can see the defense that is played hard charging down the third baseline is Gronwald. Trying to keep the runner at bay at first base is Bernier. Trying to keep this one a little bit close. Christensen, we'll see if he gets the same call from Coach Maggio here. As Fisher Johnson works from the stretch. Looking to bunt. That's a good bunt that goes to Johnson. Johnson will play this one. Bernier comes to the foul side of the first baseline to make the play. There's a sacrifice bunt. Move the runner up 90 feet. Kindred will take the out. Central Cass will take the run up a little bit closer in a scoring position here with Jack Everson. First base runner for Central Cass in scoring position here this afternoon against Fisher Johnson. Runner at first, now at second here with Mueller. This will run inside for a ball. Jack Everson grounded out his last time up to Grunwald over at third base, who's playing even with the bag now at third. A 1-0. That'll be called a strike. It's now 1-1. Seen Fisher so far, that off-speed pitch, and particularly that curveball, been able to locate it pretty well so far throughout this first, second, and now into the third inning. 1-1. We'll miss the zone. It's 2-1. As Everson, the senior shortstop, trying to see if he can put something back up the middle, as Mueller did just a few moments ago. Takes a big swing at that one. It's now 2-2. There's Fisher. Looks to Hess behind the plate, looking for a strikeout here. Everson looking to put the ball in play. 2-2 pitch. This one will run in and hit him. Breaking ball that just consistently got in on the batter. And Everson will take a free bag as he will make his way to first. And Central Cass now with runners at first and second. And the go-ahead run with Brody Cagley at the plate. The junior second baseman 0-for-1 here this evening with a ground out to Schliemann, his first time up in the top of the first inning. So Central Cass' best opportunity to score here so far through 3 innings. Can they take advantage of it? As this will miss for a ball. Now it's 1-0. Now if you're Fisher Johnson, you're one ground ball away from a twin killing or getting out of the inning here. And sometimes throughout the course of a contest, you just don't know what is that maybe one inning where you can pass the baton, move the runners across. 1-0 pitch is hit right back up the middle underneath the glove of Iverson. It goes to center. Everybody going to stay station to station as the throw comes in to Baumgarten. That one nearly hit the bag again right up the middle, and the Central Cass Squirrels have their third hit of the contest. Bases are full here in the top of the third inning. So Grady Mueller at third base, Everson at second, Brody Kangley at first. Now Ryan Osmondstad worked a walk his last time up. Corner infielders will come in. Middle will play for the double play, and this is going to be called a strike. Gets 0-1. That might have been the best pitch we've seen from Fisher here this afternoon. Looking to do it again. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one will be all the way to the backstop as Mueller's going to slide in. That will be on a wild pitch, and it's a new score on the Bank North scoreboard. It's 2-1. That one just immediately got by Hess, and breaking was Grady Mueller to come in and score. Everson will go to third base, and now Kegley stands at second, and a base knock will tie or take the lead here for Central Cass. As, again, the infielders from the corner spot will stay in. Here's the 1-1 offering from Fisher Johnson. This good backhand by Hess that nearly could have tied the ball game up at another wild pitch. Instead, it'll be 2-1 for Fisher Johnson. This will be his 45th pitch of the evening. 2-1. Jammed him. Who's going to call for it? The second baseman does in Schliemann. And Ryan Osmondstad's going to be retired on a pop-out, and there's 2 down as it goes to Keegan Peterson. Now Peterson will be coming up to the plate trying to see if he can give the Central Cass Squirrels a lead here in the top of the third inning. Region 1 regular season championship. Someone is going to be the 1 seed. It's either Kindred or Central Cass going to that Region 1 tournament. That's going to be a grounder up the third baseline foul. It's 0-1. Batter number 6 of the inning here for Central Cass. 4 batters to the plate in the first, 3 in the second. And here is batter number 6 in inning number 3, second time through the lineup here against Fisher Johnson. The 0-1, good spot there for Fisher. It's 0-2. You can see Keegan try to come into it, and then that breaking ball just going to reset close enough. No balls, 2 strikes to the cleanup batter here in the Central Cass lineup. Goes off speed again, little check swing, hit down the third base line, and will stay alive. Almost going to look like a golf swing from the rough when you're about 40 yards trying to chip on. Don't have the full swing. Just kind of see if you can let the ball roll a little bit in front of the flag and see if you can get the friendly roll on the green. Here's the 0-2 yet again from Fisher Johnson. Fastball. This one will go to the first baseman. Bernier will underhand it. Makes the good play over to Johnson as it's going to be 3-1 on the putout. But we're going to say maybe this was a foul ball. Or will they give him first base on the interference? So this will be on the interference by the catcher with Hess. So on the interference, Central Cass all of a sudden now gets a free out here in the top of the third inning. So catcher's interference, and now we're going to see Carver Kozowski, bases full of Squirrels and nowhere to put him. And Kozowski will take the strike. It's 0-1. So catcher interference will allow the runner to make his way. Peterson to first base. Can Central Cass take advantage of an extra out here on the top of the third? Fisher with the 0-1. Popped him up. This one's going to be hit down the first base line. Bernier has some time, and he will make the play in foul territory for the out. So Kozowski is retired on 2 pitches. And Fisher Johnson does get out of the side. Does give up 1 run. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left. We played 2.5 today. New score on the Bank North scoreboard. Kindred 2, Central Cass 1.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal, it's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
Bottom of the third inning here on YourLiveEvent.com for the Central Cass Squirrels. You get a run. Might have thought you had a chance to get a little bit more. Fisher Johnson did a good job working out of the frame after giving up a leadoff single to Grady Mueller. Eventually came in to score off a wild pitch, but a sacrifice bunt with Christensen. Everson with a hit by pitch. Kangley with a single. Then the interference there by Peterson. Squirrels will take one run, but in comparison, Kindred will gladly say, glad you only got one run here, as that inning could have been maybe a crooked number up on that scoreboard. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, Carter Grunwald, Brody Baumgarten, and alongside Jackson Schleeman, the 9-1 and 2 batters due up here for the Kindred Vikings. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here on this lovely spring afternoon into early evening. Off-speed pitch. This one will hit right to the first baseman. Mueller will bobble it, but then Bryce does a good job regaining possession of the baseball. First time through the lineup card here for Lucas Christensen. 2 1/3, 1 hit. That was back with the RBI double by Jackson Schleeman in the bottom of the first. That was a run scored and a run earned as well. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. He's given up 2 so far here today. Another on a wild pitch as they're coming through. And we'll take a quick break. We're back with more after this here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
As we come back here, bottom of the third inning, it's 2-1 in favor of the Kindred Vikings over the Central Cass Squirrels. There was a quick time here as they were attending to the bat boy right in front of the Kindred dugout, but he was able to get back up under his own 2 feet. Looks to be all right as we continue with more here today in Kindred. Well, for Lucas Christensen right now, 44 pitches thrown, not too shabby after he was in the 30s after the first inning, right on that threshold of about 30. So for Lucas, trying to see if he can dial it in here, where he has retired in order since the walk and the double. He has retired the last 7 batters that he's gone up against. As this one misses outside for a ball, but the 2 guys that he was unable to get out are coming up here now with Brady Baumgarten with a walk, and he worked the count full back his first time up in the bottom of the first inning. This one one-hops the catcher of Lewis. It's now 2-0. Twins fans come up short here today for Minnesota Twins baseball. 7-5 against the Washington Nationals. As this is going to be called a strike, it's 2-1. We'll see what the Wild can do against the Avalanche, down 2-0, and then Timberwolves and the Spurs at 1 apiece in the postseason here when it comes to pro baseball, alongside with hockey and basketball in the state of Minnesota. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to the junior center fielder with Baumgarten as Lucas Christensen works from the stretch. 2-2. Nice spot, little off-speed pitch. Painted the corner. Christensen gets the strikeout, and there's 2 down here in the top, or make that bottom of the third inning. As Christensen able to get 2 strikeouts in the first, 1 in the second. Now his second here in the third, and he's retired 8 straight batters here for Central Cass. It's Christensen. Let's see this. Missed for a ball. It's now 2-0. Jackson Schliemann had the RBI double to left center that plated the first run of the game here for the Kindred Vikings. 1-0 Mitch. That'll miss for a ball. It's now 2-0. Later today, after the conclusion of our first game, stay tuned for our post-game show. Ambridge Player of the Game, Agassiz Precision Ag Play of the Contest, and Morris Christensen does a good job fielding his position. He'll go 1-3 on the putout, and I'll make that 9 straight retired here by Christensen. A second consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning here for Lucas. We play 3 today in Kindred, and it's the Vikings up by 1.
Give them the freedom to grow with the peace of mind of security and safety.
Let me do my thing. So get ready, get up, get ready, yeah.
America's Best Checking for students from Bell Bank makes it easy to let them do their thing.
It's what it's all about.
Visit www.bell.bank/student-checking to learn more. Or stop into a branch near you to open an account today.
Let me do my thing.
Bell Bank, member FDIC.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Top of the 4th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. Here's what the box score looks like for the Central Cass Squirrels and the Kindred Vikings. Central Cass with 1 run on 3 hits. They've left 4 runners on, have yet to commit an error. For the Kindred Vikings, 2 runs on 1 hit. They have yet to commit an error. They've only left 0. That's, again, they've left 0 runners on base so far for your 3-inning mid-box scores. This one is fouled off here by Grayson Lewis. Lewis with a single his last time up in the 2nd inning. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 batters due up here in the top of the 4th for the Central Cass Squirrels. Head coach is Dustin Maggio. For the Kindred Vikings, head coach Scott Milbrandt. 0-1 pitch, going to be a 2-hopper that gets through the infield. And eventually Lewis with his 2nd single of the game. He's got half the hits here for Central Cass. And we'll see if he gets a courtesy runner on one more time with Mr. Nelson coming on. It will be Carter Nelson will be coming on as the courtesy runner here for Central Cass. Getting in left field with Baumgart in center. Knight over in right for the Kindred Vikings. Max Bernier at first base will be holding Nelson on. You have Schliemann at second, Iverson at shortstop, Grunwald at third, and Hess behind the plate as the Squirrels for back-to-back innings get a leadoff batter aboard. That's going to be called a strike. That is taking the bunt back was Bryce Mueller last time up and into a double play. That went to Iverson over at shortstop to finish off the 2nd inning. No balls and a strike. As Fisher Johnson looks back the runner at first. And sliding back safely will be Nelson. Central Cass looking to see if they can tie this one up. Pitch number 55 here for Fisher. This one goes all the way to the backstop, nearly to the backstop as Hess makes the play. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Always a fun time of the year for a spring sport, especially when you can get a day like today and get outside and enjoy it just a little bit more. Here's the 1-1. Good bunt up the third base side. Grunwald loses his hat but makes a nice play to Bernier. So sacrifice fight. A bunt by Bryce Mueller. You couldn't have done it any better on the play as Nelson will take second, and there's 1 down. We saw this happen in the 3rd inning where they bunted the leadoff runner into scoring position. They eventually came in to score a run. The Squirrels trying to do that ×2 here now in the top of the 4th with Grady Mueller, who had a single his last time up. 1 down, top of the 4th inning. As this will be called a strike, it's 0-1. Fisher Johnson will have the 0-1 count with a runner at second base. Takes a look back at the runner and the pitch. That'll be smothered by Hess on the turf. It's now 1-1 as Nelson will retouch at second. Central Cass coming off of a win against Northern Cass, a win against Lisbon, a 5-3 loss against Northern Cass, and a one-run win against Mayport CG for their last 3. Fisher trying to see if he can get a little bit of the daylight play as Schliemann will skip there. As now we see Mueller with the 1-1 pitch from Johnson. This one will be called a strike. It's 1-2 out for the Kindred Vikings. Their last 3 wins on the road against Oaks, Enderlin, and Sargent County. Our last 3 contests. Here's the 1-2 from Fisher. That'll be a fastball right out of zone. It's 2-2. For the Vikings, trying to see if they can get back to the bottom of the 4th still with a 1-run lead. Central Cass trying to add another run as this will be a strike 3 looking, and Johnson gets his second strikeout of the afternoon as it now goes to Lucas Christensen, who had a bunt his last time, a sacrifice bunt, then back to the top of the lineup with Jack Everson. Good spot there for Fisher. Got the fastball across of Mueller, and there's 2 down. Fisher works ahead in the count. It's now 0-1. As we see some bubbles make their way through from some of the youngsters down underneath us. So no balls and 1 strike. See if that comes into play on a foul ball later today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It'll be 1-1. Not a bad day, honestly, with the wind to maybe fly a kite. Maybe just a skosh windy in terms of hanging on to the resistance, but not a bad day if you were enjoying a little bit of outdoor activities. The 1-1 offering. This will be hit to the second baseman and get past the second baseman. Schliemann into center field. Coming on to score is going to be Nelson. Here's the throw, not going to be in time. And we got a tie ball game here between Central Cass and Kindred in the top of the 4th inning. So Nelson, he comes in to score. As Christensen hit a hard rocket, just kind of took a 2-hopper and eventually got over Schliemann at second. As Christensen, the pitcher, will be a courtesy run for here as you got Ainan Thummel, as Thummel will come on and run now at first base. So for the Central Cass Squirrels, they take advantage. They get a base runner aboard. There's a 3-hopper. Everson bobbled the ball, but he makes the play eventually over at second base, and Thummel is going to be out at second as Everson is eventually retired of the Central Cass Squirrels. Top of the 4th on a 1 pitch. New score on the Bank North scoreboard, tied at 2 here on your livevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Bottom of the 4th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com as the Central Cass Squirrels put up 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on in the top half of the 4th. The Kindred Vikings will be taking a strike with 3, 4, and 5 batters. Fisher Johnson, Carson Getty, and Eli Mack do up here against Lucas Christensen. Just 1 ball has left the infield since the first inning on the double by Schliemann. It was a fly out by Iverson to left. Otherwise, everything has been a strikeout or a ground out and a soft little line out here in the infield for the Kindred Vikings. As now 1 and 2. Sometimes just about getting to a pitcher early, and if they get in a rhythm, it'd be tough to put a couple of quality at-bats together again as Christensen just misses a strikeout. It's 2 and 2. Kayla Hamry calling balls and strikes. Chris Larson in the infield here for our umpiring crew tonight. The 2-2 from Christensen. Foul tipped in the glove of Lewis. There's a strikeout. Johnson is retired for the second time via the K, and that's the 5th here for Christensen on the mound as it goes to Carson Getty. Getty with a ground out back in the first inning here for the Kindred Vikings. As for Kindred, 2 runs if you're just joining us in the bottom of the first inning. Central Castle the run in the top of the third and the top of the fourth. As this is called a strike here to Getty, it's 0-1. Getty with a ground out to the second baseman. Kegley, his last time up, was the 0-1 pitch. That'll work inside for a ball. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch on the way from Christensen. This one goes all the way to the backstop. It's now 2-1. Well, for Christensen right now, found a good rhythm after those first 2 batters in the bottom of the first inning with Baumgarten and Schliemann. Here's the 2-1. That'll be called a strike. It's now 2-2. Well, the Vikings just looking to get a base runner on here against Christensen and try to disrupt the rhythm. 2-2. That'll work outside. Full count now 3-2. A first 3-ball count since Carson Getty had one in the first. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Christensen with the strikeout. That'll be his 6th back-to-back Ks. And for Christensen, he has struck out 3 of the last 4 and also 4 of the last 6 batters that he has seen. As it goes now to Eli Mack, struck out looking his last time up to end the first inning. Christensen will take this one for a ball outside. It's now 1-0 as this will be his 65th pitch of the contest and match what Fisher Johnson has through 4 innings with 65 pitches as well on the mound. Popped him up down the first base side, foul, and this one will be played by Bryce Mueller for the catch. So 12 straight batters have been retired by Christensen as we are tied at 2 heading to the top of the 5th inning.
When we bought our first home in Fargo, we had no idea where to start. A friend told us to call First Class Mortgage, and I'm so glad we did. They explained every step, answered all of our questions, and made us feel completely at ease. We closed on time and even got a better rate than expected. If you're buying or refinancing, trust me, call First Class Mortgage. They really do live up to their name.
First Class Mortgage is locally owned. Visit firstclasscorp.com for more info.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
High school baseball today on YourLiveEvent.com. We're broadcasting from the First Class Mortgage broadcast booth. Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team at First Class Mortgage takes time to understand your financial situation. For more, go to firstclasscorp.com. That again is firstclasscorp.com. Tied at 2 apiece here today in Kindred Central Cass. Kegley, first pitch, swinging, hits one over the glove of Bernier as that'll go into right. And the Central Cass Squirrels starting to time up a little bit of Fisher Johnson and putting some more quality at-bats together. They're going to make that with an error here to Max Bernier as it was trying to play the one-hopper. So Kegley will reach base via the error. That'll be the first error of the contest. And now it goes to Ryan Osmondstein. And for the 3rd straight inning, Central Cass has a leadoff batter aboard. Trying to get that go-ahead run across. This will miss for a ball to Ryan Osmondstein. 0 for 1 today with a walk back in the 1st inning. And a pop out in the 3rd here for Ryan. Bernier holding the runner on at first with Kegley. Kegley does have speed if he wants to try to run. Looking to bunt. Here's a quick whip throw, and they got him, I think. Yes! Really good play as Bernier shows Chris Larson, and they got Kegley moving a little bit towards second. Really good pull throw by Hess behind the plate on the snap to Bernier, who applied the tag. We had a front row seat to it right here up the first base line, and Chris was just making sure the umpire that the ball was in the glove of Max Bernier, and there's one down. And for Fisher Johnson, he will see this one, a high fly ball to left. Getty's going to come in and play it, and Ryan Osmondstein is retired, and there's 2 down. Mark that at home. 2-3 at first base. That could possibly be the play of the game and maybe be the shot in the arm that the Kindred Vikings needed right now here in this top of the fifth inning. And some good defensive plays by both of these two teams, showing you why they're part of the top end of the region. One's going to be the 1 seed. Central Cass, if they lose, would end up being the 3. Northern Cass, the 2. As Johnson sees this one hit up the middle to Iverson. Keegan Peterson trying to get aboard. He does on the air as Peterson's going to round. Here goes Hess on the throw on the relay, and they got him with the tag. Yes, they did. Really good play by Hess yet again as this one goes to Schliemann, who cut it off in front of Iverson, and Peterson was retired a good 10 feet in front of second base. Oh, no, this inning is all Graham Hess here. He's got his fingerprints all over the top of the fifth. 2 really good plays. That's why you hustle from your catcher's position up the first base line like you're taught in Little League and help your guys out expecting an errant throw. It was the error, but then they eventually get Peterson out over at second. My, oh my, as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, it's 2-2 here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Main Street Mutual Insurance Company is a partnership that unites 2 trusted community-focused organizations in Cass County Mutual Insurance Company and Steel Trail County Mutual Insurance Company under the same roof. This merger strengthens the ability to service our policyholders with expanded resources, enhanced ability, and a continued commitment to protecting what matters most. Our offices in Castleton and Findlay will remain open to serve the needs of our agents and policyholders. For more information, go to mainstreetmutualins.com.
And everything they said is what they did. When they built the plan, wildlife wanted this, wanted that. They bent over backwards to satisfy everybody.
This kind of gave us a shot in the arm. Now we're going to build a new community center. We're allowed to give funding to a lot of our school programs.
Our kids have had all of this as their backyard, so it's a great way of life.
As we head to the bottom of the fifth inning here on YourLiveEvent.com, it's 2-2 apiece. So in that particular fifth, you saw no runs, no hits, 2 errors, and nobody left on base as we make our way to the bottom of the fifth inning. Again, Graham Hess with a couple really good plays. Got Kegley caught stealing over at first on the little snap throw back to first, and then eventually gets Keegan Peterson after hustling up the first base side and makes a perfect throw to Schliemann for the out. So for the Kindred Vikings, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 batters due up with Iverson, Hess, and Knight. As right now Iverson falls behind 0-2 on Lucas Christensen. 0-2 pitch, going to be a 2-hopper, and this one goes off the third baseman Peterson, and it's going to hit him in the head and go to left field. Kozowski will play this one in, and Iverson will get aboard as they take a look at Peterson and Scott Milbrandt, the head coach for Kindred, making sure Keegan's okay. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more after this as the Kindred Vikings get their first base runner of the game on since the bottom of the first inning here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Lucas Christensen was able to retire 12 consecutive batters in a row before Gabe Iverson hit a hot shot to third. They're going to give that a base hit here for the second hit of the game against Lucas Christensen. So Christensen working with a runner on for the first time since the bottom of the first inning, as this will be a bunt up in the air. Chance. Oh, what a play by Peterson, the Superman. He feels just fine and dandy. And you get a little grass on that jersey one more time for the stain. What a play by Keegan Peterson. Again, the defense has been sensational, and Peterson comes in with a defensive gem of the contest. As Graham Hess was trying to pop that one up for a sacrifice fly, but he popped it up just a little bit too much, and Iverson did a good job not going too far off for first base. As there's a out for the first here in the bottom of the fifth. This one will miss for a ball. It's 1-0. What is it with these two teams? A little bit of defense. And more importantly, staying away from Lucas Christensen to possibly collide as those two were coming in. So good job by Christensen kind of putting on the brakes, if you will, as that was awfully close. It's now 2-0, but still a really good defensive play here by the third baseman, Peterson, as we see this here, 2-2. And hitters count here to Jeremy Knight, who struck out his last time up in the second. Christensen with an off-speed pitch delivers a strike. It's now 2-1. So Iverson stands at first base, being held on by Bryce Mueller. What you'd expect in a region championship, and these two teams play against each other. It's another tight one here when it comes to Central Cass and Kindred. 2-1, as this will be a now 2-2. And it's plays like that that'll try to get one of these teams to a potential state tournament in Jamestown here in a couple of weeks. 2-2. Strike three. Looking, and Christensen gets his seventh strikeout of the evening. Jeremy Knight is retired, 2 down in the bottom of the fifth. Now Northern Cass, the defending region champs, until someone knocks them off, but then Central Cass has owned this decade as they've made it to state in 2021, 22, 23, and 2024. Got no season with COVID in 2020. So 4 of the last 5 championships here in the region have been won by the Central Cass Squirrels. As Carter Grunwald takes the ball, it's 1-0. Also miss outside, now 2-0. Well, for the Kindred Vikings, looking to make it to state for the first time since 2017 here for Kindred. As Christensen with a 2-0 pitch. Looks over at the runner with Iverson at first. 2-0 going to be called a strike. It's now 2-1. Back to the top of the lineup here if Carter can get aboard with Brady Baumgarten. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels in the 6th. They'll see Kozowski, Lewis, and Mueller 5, 6, and 7 batters. As Lewis able to kind of eat that one behind the plate. It's 3-1. Three balls and a strike here to the third baseman in Carter Grunwald. 3-1 pitch. Good spot. Christensen delivers a strike. It's 3-2. This will be the fourth full count here for Christensen. The 3-2. That'll miss out of the zone. It's a walk. So Iverson will take second base. Carter Grunwald will stay at first. This is the first base runner of the game since the first inning that Kindred has had a runner in scoring position, and just the second of the night, as it goes now to Brady Baumgarten. Able to earn a walk in the first, struck out looking in the third, does have a run scored, first run of the contest. Trying to give Kindred the lead back here. There's a good swing that'll hit the gap into right center field, and now there's going to be one run coming in. It's a matter, does Carter Grunwald come in? They'll play it from center with Ryan Osmondstad, and now he's making his way home as trying to come in and score eventually does come in. Here's Carter Grunwald. It's a bases-clearing triple here for the Kindred Vikings. It's now a 4-2 contest here in favor for the Kindred Vikings. So coming in is going to be Iverson from second base. Carter Grunwald will come in and score. Brady Baumgartner with a 2 RBI double. And eventually will make it to third base as well, as they're able to get Iverson to come in. Grunwald will come in, and a bases clearing hit. Just some timely hits for Kindred. 4 runs on 3 hits today. Check swing went through the zone. Yes, he did. Schliemann sees this one now at 1-1. Schliemann with a double his last time up. Couple extra base hits has been the difference for this game for the Vikings, where they have 3 runs on 2 extra base hits today for Kindred. As the 1-2 is upcoming to Schliemann. It's Christensen. As the 1-2 swing and miss for the strikeout, but not before the Kindred Vikings put up 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're back with more with a new score. It's 42 Vikings on YourLiveVent.com.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com. Order yours today. And we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
Top of the 6th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. Where the Kindred Vikings, again, just 3 hits in the game, but 2 of them have been extra base hits, with the Schliemann RBI double in the first and a bases-clearing 2 RBI double by Brady Baumgarten. And the Kindred Vikings now have a 4-2 lead. Sometimes not about the quality, it's about maybe the quantity, or vice versa, depending on what you want to talk about. But right now it has been not the quantity, it's been the quality of swings with runners on here for the Kindred Vikings. As Fisher Johnson back on, as it's going to be Kozowski, Lewis, and Mueller. And all of a sudden, from a Central Cass perspective, you look up and you're down to your final 6 outs of the contest if you can't tie or take the lead here. As Central Cass is yet to take a lead, it's 2-0 here to Kozowski. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a pop-out. As the righty-righty matchup, Fisher Johnson, off-speed pitch for a ball. It's now 3-0. For the Central Cass Squirrels, a couple of base hits today, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, all with a single variety. 3-0 takes the strike. It's 3-1. Central Cass looking for their first extra base hit, which you could say the difference in this game has been that extra base knock for the Vikings. There's a pop-up in the air. That'll go to short center field. Baumgartner is going to make his way all the way in, almost behind second base. And there's going to be one down here in the top of the 6th inning. On the Bank North scoreboard, go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, trusted financial partner for generations with Bank North. It's Kindred 4 on 3 hits with 2 errors. Central Cass 2 on 5 hits and no errors. Johnson sees this one. There's a little line drive to Iverson. He makes a twisting catch at shortstop. Lewis is retired on 1 pitch, and he's now 2 for 3 at the plate. Goes to Bryce Mueller. Mueller hit into a double play in the 2nd and a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. As Fisher Johnson will have his 77th pitch of the at-bat. Or excuse me, not of the at-bat, of the game. 77th pitch of the at-bat. That'd be a record in the Guinness Book of World Records, as this one will be called the strike at 0-1. Rocks and delivers. This is foul back. It's 0-2. As the 0-2 pitch upcoming for Johnson, looking for a tidy top of the 6th inning. As Fisher. Long look inside to Hess. 0-2 nearly gets the strikeouts. For a second there, thought Bryce Mueller was taking a step back to the dugout. That was that close. Have the 1-2. Going to be popped up in the air. Who's going to call for it? Iverson at second base will retire the side. It's the first 3-up, 3-down inning here for Fisher Johnson on the mound, and comes at a timely spot of the game here in the top of the 6th inning. It's still 4-2 Kindred on YourLiveEvent.com.
The Ringneck is a perfect stop for lunch or dinner in Leonard, North Dakota. The Ringneck has a wide variety menu from burgers, wraps, steak, chicken, and seafood. For that small-town family-owned dining experience, check out the Ringneck today. To place an order ahead of time for takeout, call 701-645-2465. That's 645-2465. And stop by every other Friday this winter for meat raffles. For more info and daily specials, search the Ringneck on Facebook.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
Bottom of the sixth, and in we go here on YourLiveEvent.com. It'll be the heart of the lineup with the 3, 4, and 5 batters of Fisher Johnson, Carson Getty, and Eli Mack here for the Kindred Vikings, looking to add a little insurance right now onto that lead. As this will miss for a ball, it's 1-0 with Lucas Christensen going to have his 87th pitch of the contest here. Fisher Johnson 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts at the play. Pitcher versus pitcher, and Johnson will take a strike. It's now 1-1. So for Kindred, can you add a run? Can you add 2? Well, for Central Cass, I know they'll be down to their final 3 outs of the game. It's just a matter of how much do they have in front of them to try to climb that mountain once they get to the 7th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Christensen from the stretch. Swing and a miss in the dirt as Lewis will make the play over the first baseman and Bryce Mueller. There's a strikeout. That'll be the 9th here for Lucas Christensen on the mound, and there's 1 down. So 9 strikeouts here for Christensen as it goes to Carson Getty, 0 for 2 with the strikeout. That's when 1 hops. Lewis, it's now 1-0. Central Cass loses this game. They'll be the 3. And they'll play the Ball Stars in Castleton coming up here on Tuesday. Kindred then would play the winner of Lisbon-Enderlin in that 1-8 matchup. While on the opposite side, if Central Cass could come back and eventually win, they would be the 1. Kindred would be the 2 seed and then have to host Oaks if that is the way Central Cass could come back and win. And Northern Cass is sitting there going, well, we're the 2 or the 3. Depending on the result, and if the result stands, the Jags would end up being the 2 seed entering the Region 1 tournament. Here's a 2-0. It's called a strike to Getty. It's now 2-1. So 3 teams vying for 3 spots, if you will, with 2 of them playing against each other right now. 2-1 pitch will be called a strike. And then that playing game is tomorrow in Lisbon at 5 p.m. between the Enderlin Eagles and the Lisbon Broncos. As we get a quick time on the way here for Carson Getty. As Christensen has the 2-2. Go to the way of the backstop. It's now 3-2. Keep you updated as well on what's going on across YourLiveEvent.com. Simply go to our website. A lot of various sports with baseball and softball today. There's a walk. Carson Getty will get aboard. Just the 2nd free pass for Lucas Christensen. And there's 1 down with a runner on. Kindred Hillsborough Central Valley for high school softball today with Josh Boyko on the call in Hillsborough. That's in the top of the 6th inning, and it's a 10-all contest between Kindred and Hillsborough Central Valley for high school softball right now. So might be the first one to 12 wins that game as this comes back. Eli Mack at the plate. Staying put his Getty. Christensen paying him a little bit of attention. As Getty, one more time, will come back and slide. As Christensen doesn't throw over to the first baseman, Bryce Mueller, just step off and bluff the throw. There's a fly ball hit in the air to short right center field, and the center fielder does a good job coming in with Ryan Osmondstad playing center field. Makes the catch. A little bit more of a difficult play for the center fielder with the wind blowing in from right as it's kind of tailing away from him. And there's 2 down here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Gabe Iverson, 1 of 2 today with a single and a run scored. And that run came in the 5th inning. And Iverson will wear this one on the shoulder. Christensen hit him. And there'll be runners at first and second base. So Getty will go to second. Gabe Iverson will make his way up the first base side. And they'll come out, just make sure, but he'll have a black and blue mark there on that left shoulder moving forward as it goes to Graham Hess. So far the difference in this game has been a 2 RBI bases clearing double by Brady Baumgarten in the 5th inning. The game tied at 2 that eventually has given Kindred this 4-2 lead. And now with 2 outs and 2 on here in the bottom of the 6th, it goes to Graham Hess, who's 0 for 1 today, trying to bunt his last time up, and Peterson made a Superman catch where he dove in front of the pitcher, Lucas Christensen, about 15, 20 feet in front of the pitching mound to make a really good defensive play in the contest. Christensen, we'll see this one. There'll be a little nubber to the second baseman, and bobbling it is Cagley, rounding home. Here comes a throw off the tag of Lewis, and coming in to score is the Kindred Vikings. A little small ball there for Carson Getty as he comes in to score. Getty goes from second to home, and it's now 5-2. Just off the end of the bat, and those can be interesting to try to field a little bit there for Cagley, and Cagley bobbled it, and Getty was off and going immediately with 2 outs. He never, if he would have paused for a second, he would have been dead to rights at home, but kept coming through. It would have been a bang-bang play if that was a clean glove by Lewis, but instead a run comes in to score. 5-2 runners at the corners with 2 down after the error as Graham Hess gets aboard. As now Jeremy Knight falls behind 0-1. And Kindred, you could just say maybe the little things have gone in favor of the Vikings at times, particularly when they've gotten runners on, as Lewis does a good job smothering that one. Runners will stay put. It's 1-1. It just kind of has that feeling as you would come into it, right? What postseason baseball is going to be all about once you make your way to Tuesday and eventually to Oaks Thursday and Friday for this Region 1 baseball tournament next week. 1-1 as the runner wins. Following this one and spoiling it is Jeremy Knight. It's 1-2. 6th batter of the inning here in the 6th as Kindred is looking for their 6th run of the game. 6s all around, but no 7s, at least yet. But number 17, Jeremy Knight. With the 1-2, runner goes again. Knight swing and a miss. And Lewis will have to play this one over to first. And Lewis sees this, and staying on the bag was Bryce Mueller to stay put. That was close. Knight on the strikeout. That's his 10th, and Lewis able to make the play. New score, though, Kindred 5 as we make our way to the top of the 7th with the Central Cass Squirrels with 2.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Get ahead of your spring planting needs with flowers, shrubs, and trees. Watts Ace Hardware Greenhouse is open now. Watts Ace Hardware, a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware and check out their greenhouse, which is open right now.
As we head to the top of the 7th inning, it's the Kindred Vikings 5, the Central Cass Squirrels 2 here on your liveevent.com. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 batters of Mueller, Christensen, and Jack Everson. So right now for Coach Maggio and Central Cass, all about finding ways to get runners on. Then can they deliver a big base hit or 2 to try to tie this game up or possibly take the lead? Well, on the opposite side for the Kindred Vikings, Fisher Johnson has been able to retire the last 3 batters he saw. Then in the 5th, 2 times that Central Cass got on base were because of errors, as he has retired the last 3 batters that he's seen, but 7 batters haven't been able to reach unless it was on a fielder's choice or an error. As we see this one coming through, and it will be called a ball here with Grady Mueller. Mueller with a single and a run scored in the third, struck out looking his last time up, as that was in the fourth inning. This one misses for a ball. It's 2-0. Hour 23 minutes so far for this baseball contest. Fisher with a 2-0 pitch. No miss. Now it's 3-0. As Fisher. 3-0 pitch, taken all the way is Grady Mueller. It's now 3-1. Johnson able to see this one. A high hopper to the third baseman. Gronwald makes the play, fires across stump, and good pick by the third baseman, Gronwald. That was tough because you're charging in, and it's a matter of, as an infielder, do you charge and make the play, or do you wait and maybe see if it's a big hop or not? But he went to charge it at a low hop, made that look clean and easy. 5-3 on the putout as Grady Mueller is retired and there's one down. As Lucas Christensen will dig in. Christensen with a single, a run driven in, and a sacrifice bunt so far today in the number 9 spot. As Christensen takes a strike, it's 0-1. Jack Everson due up next. Top of the lineup then for Central Cass. Here's the 0-1. Hit. That'll go to Iverson. A 3-hopper that'll get bobbled by the shortstop. And Christensen gets aboard. That'll be an E6. The third error here for the for the Kindred Vikings. As we'll make our way now to the top of the lineup with Jack Everson. So Everson, 4th time through. Well, as we said, Central Cass needed runners. Well, they get one here. Now can they get another, or can Fisher Johnson retire Everson? Everson pops this one up down the right field side. That'll be well out of play. Foul ball. It's 0-1. Everson grounded out in the first, and he was hit by a pitch in the third and reached base on a fielder's choice in the fourth. As the runner at first base again is Christensen. Here's the 0-1. Popped up. As we'll see if this one gets out of play, and eventually does. Hess just kind of looked up and didn't see it right off the bat. He also has to contend with the right field sun compared to the first base and pitcher that were kind of hustling both towards home plate, but eventually got out of play. But still, a couple of foul balls results in an 0-2 count here as Fisher Johnson works ahead on Everson. Runner at first is Christensen and being held on by Bernier. 0-2. This one will go to Everson, a 3-hopper. Everson makes a play there. They won't turn 2, but they do get 1. And a lead runner at that by Everson, doing a good job planting that back foot, firing over to Schliemann. And Schliemann said, "No, well, let's not force the double play here. Let's just eat it and get one down." And now there's 2 outs in the 7th. As Everson again reaches base on a fielder's choice. Now it goes to Brody Cagley. It's Cagley with a single back in the 3rd inning. 1 of 3 so far here today. This one's going to be hit to the second baseman. Schliemann, he bobbles the ball. It goes into center. Everson will stay put at second. And now there's runners at first and second base here for Central Cass. So a couple of errors here by the Kindred Vikings infielders have allowed the Central Cass Squirrels to bring the tying run up to the plate named Ryan Osmondstad. Runners at first and second as it stands right now. Johnson looks back the runner. This one will run in. It'll be a ball. It's now 1-0. And with 2 outs, guys are going to be off and running, so anything to the outfielder, even as a first base runner here with Cagley, going to get an extra step or 2 than what you would with 1 down. 1-0 pitch is grounded. That'll be a foul ball as it's 1-1. Central Cass looking to see if they can get a timely hit. They have 5 so far today, but everything from a Central Cass variety has been more of a single compared to the couple extra base hits for Kindred. The 1-1. Going to be hit on the ground. That'll go to Gronwald. Gronwald will just tag the runner, and that'll do it for the contest. 5 unassisted, a game that finishes at 6:28 here today on YourLiveEvent.com. So with this result, the Kindred Vikings are going to be the number 1 seed in the Region 1 baseball tournament, and they will play the winner of Lisbon or Enderlin here upcoming on Tuesday. And we'll have the Lisbon-Enderlin game in Lisbon tomorrow at 5 p.m. Northern Cass, with this result, moves up to the number 2 seed, and they'll play Oaks in a 2-7 matchup at 4 o'clock on Tuesday in Hunter. And Central Cass drops to the number 3 seed, and they will play the Ball Stars on Tuesday in Castleton. In the 3-6 matchup, the 4-5 will be Oak Grove at Sargent County. Your final again, the Kindred Vikings 5, the Central Cass Squirrels 2. For the Kindred Vikings, they were able to put 5 runs up across. Winning pitcher will be Fisher Johnson. Losing pitcher, Lucas Christensen, here today for Central Cass. We're back with more after this on our post-game show. That is next.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com. Order yours today.
And we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Helps my bottom line. It gives back money to the community.
Of course, there's always concern with the roads. And of course, the jobs that's created because of it, we can always use extra jobs. And of course, the tax revenue and the income and for the schools.
They're very good economic for the community. I mean, they keep everybody going. There's more money to come in.
There's going to be income coming to this fire department that they can count on. And we don't have to keep on upping the property tax.
This will help people keep farming. How can you go wrong?
As we come back here with one of our Enbridge Energy players of the game for the Kindred Vikings, the eventual go-ahead and game-winning hit here again. That was in the 5th inning for Brady Baumgarten with us here as he was able to play 2 runs across and score as well. The first run of the game in the first. Brady, just for you guys, first things first, winning a region regular season championship, being the number 1 seed, obviously holds a lot of weight. There's postseason baseball next week, but today, what does it mean to be a regular season region champion, defeating a team that you're pretty good rivals with here in Central Cass on top of it?
Yeah, it feels great. At the start of the season, you set out some of those goals, and that's obviously one of our goals, be the 1 seed going into the tournament and then see where that takes us. So that was a big one today, especially beating a great pitcher like Christensen. He's had our number in the past, so this was a big one for us. Yeah, he retired 12 straight at one particular point. Just kind of what worked for you when you had a couple of runners on? What were you seeing when you came up to the plate to get that one to right center field and see a couple of your teammates around the bases and you eventually wound up at third? Well, I felt like I was seeing the ball well today, but I was getting my foot down a little late, so I told myself before I got up there I got to make an adjustment, get my foot down a little earlier. I got a fastball up and away, and I got it. Able to see Graham Hess make a couple really good plays. He picks off Kegley at first base, and obviously after the throwing error by Iverson, as you're taught in Little League, right, go up the first base line expecting maybe a bad throw somewhere, does it perfectly, hits the shortstop there with Schleeman. Just kind of what did you see from Graham there in that particular inning that just helped you guys, behind the plate, getting some additional outs? I mean, Graham's phenomenal. You can't say enough about the guy. He's just so good at his position. He's the best catcher in the world. I'll stand on that. He puts in so much hard work and certainly not unappreciated. The 3 seniors on this team as well to go away with a region championship their final year. What's it mean for those 3 guys, for you guys to say, hey, no matter what, you're going to be a regular season champ? Yeah, we don't have many of them, but they're great guys. I love all of them. Max, Carson, Gabe, they're great players. They always bring the energy, and there's really fun guys to be around.
Final thing, what are you going to be looking forward to once you host the winner of Lisbon Enderlin here on Tuesday, and obviously make your way down to Oaks coming up next week, Thursday? What's the one thing you want to see from this team moving forward into the Region 1 tournament?
I think we just need to keep playing our brand of ball. We've been playing good ball, plating a lot of runs, so we just got to keep that up. They're great teams. We just got to come ready to play.
Hey, Brady, congratulations. We'll let you go enjoy this. We'll see you coming up here next week.
All right, thank you.
Again, Brady with us here for the Kindred Vikings. We're back with more after this.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
As we come back here on YorkLiveEvent.com, again, one of our players of the game brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That is Enbridge.com. Again, Brady Baumgarten really had the base hit that really delivered the goods there in the bottom of the fifth inning with that bases clearing extra base double, which plated 2 runs across with Gabe Iverson and Carter Grunwald. That gave Kindred at the time a 4-2 advantage. He is our player of the game, brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Also scoring the first run back in inning number 1 as he goes 1 of 2 at the plate with 2 runs driven in and 8 runs scored. Our Agassi Precision Egg play the contest. There's a couple of them. First, a really good play by Peterson in the 5th inning, which Graham Hess was trying to put down a bunt. He went Superman out in front of his pitcher with Lucas Christensen to make a diving play. That was in the 5th inning. Also, as we talked with Brady about his teammate with Graham Hess making all 2 of the 3 outs in the 5th inning in just the little things, taking Kegley out at first base on a snapback throw to first, and then hustling up the first base line, taking advantage of an error that was by Iverson, but he backed it up perfectly and threw it out. Keegan Peterson at second to Schliemann on a really good throw. Those 2 plays are our defensive plays of the game, brought to you in part by Agassi Precision Egg, your local precision planting dealer. Agassi Precision Egg in Hillsborough, planterdoc.com. That again is visit planterdoc.com. And once you're done planting, get in touch with Agassi Precision Egg. As we go from there, final box score looks like this. The Kindred Vikings, 5 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors as they left 3 runners aboard for the Central Cass Squirrels. 2 runs on 5 hit they committed, 1 error with 7 runners left on base. Fisher Johnson picks up the win, complete game, 7 innings again, 5 hits again. 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts against Lucas Christensen. 6 innings of work and the complete game loss. 3 hits, just timely hits by Kindred. 2 of the 3 being extra base, plated 3 of the 5 runs. 5 runs against, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts here on the mound for Lucas Christensen. The Kindred Vikings with Brady Baumgarten, as we alluded to, goes 1 of 2 at the plate with a run scored, 2 runs driven in. Jackson Schliemann with a RBI double in the first inning that plated Brady Baumgarten again, and also gets 1 run scored as he goes 1 of 3 at the plate. Fisher Johnson 0 for 3. Carson Getty goes 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Eli Mack 0 for 3. Gabe Iverson with a single, a run scored, and a hit by pitch as he goes 1 of 2. Graham Hess goes 0 for 3. Jeremy Knight 0 for 3. Carter Grunwald goes 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Jack Everson today reaches base on a couple of times, but he was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. He goes 0 for 3. Brody Kegley went 1 of 4 today. He reached base 3 times, 2 on errors. Ryan Osmonstad goes 0 for 3 with the walk. Keegan Peterson in this contest would reach base in the 1st on a fielder's choice, and he was eventually reached base in the 3rd on interference. Then he reached base in the 5th on an error, but would go 0 of 2 at the plate today. Carver Kozowski goes 0 for 3. Grayson Lewis gets on base twice with 2 singles. And eventually, as courtesy runner Nelson comes in to score, Bryce Mueller goes 0 for 2. Grady Mueller goes 1 of 3 with a single and a run scored, and Lucas Christensen goes 1 of 2 today with a single and a run driven in. That was back in the 4th inning. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this one next and let you know our coverage of the Region 1 baseball tournament coming up here tomorrow with the play-in and Tuesday with the opening round games around the corner.
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal. It's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
Here's what the Region 1 baseball tournament bracket will look like tomorrow. Enderlin at Lisbon. Brent Dick has the call on YourLiveVent.com at 5 p.m. for the opening pitch. The winner of that will come here to Kindred on Tuesday at 5 p.m. on May the 12th. Northern Cass will be the 2 seed. They will host the 7 seed of Oaks at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. The 3-6 matchup of the Ball Stars of Hankinson, Fairmount, Campbell, Tintorasso, Lidgerwood Co-op will go up to Castleton and play Central Cass in the 3-6 matchup on Tuesday. Then Oak Grove makes their way to Sargent County in the 4-5 matchup. Those games again are Tuesday. Everything then shifts to Oaks a week from today in the loser out games, semifinals, and then on the week from Friday as well in terms of making their way through for eventually who's going to make it to the region championship and be the last 3 teams remaining in the Region 1 standing. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with Thursday and Friday in Oaks next week. For more on high school sports, simply go to our website. That is YourLiveEvent.com, as we'll get one more check-in on a softball game with Kindred and Hillsborough Central Valley. Josh Boyko on the call for you on that one between the Vikings and the Burros. Last check, it was 10 apiece in the 6th inning. It's currently 11-10 in the bottom of the 7th. Kindred up by 1 as it stands right now with 2 down and nobody on in the bottom of the 7th inning. So if Kindred gets an out, they'll also get closer to a number 2 seed in the Region 1 softball tournament. On behalf of Joey Hughes, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning into our broadcast, and join us tomorrow night in Lisbon as the Enderlin Eagles and the Lisbon Broncos open up the Region 1 baseball tournament at 5 p.m. Until then, have a great rest of your Thursday night and enjoy the upcoming weekend.